Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Thank you all for hopping aboard with the captain for another video. In this one, we have pop star Britney Spears admitting to having terminated a pregnancy that she had with another pop star by the name of Justin Timberlake. Now, this apparently happened in the early 2000s, around 01, 02, 03. And if you are my age or about, you remember that time of that whole Y2K, all these boy groups and Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera and all of them were just running music at the time. But she has come out, Britney Spears, and said that Justin Timberlake at the time did not want to be a father. And so they decided, really came up to her, but, they both decided, according to her, that they didn't want the child. All right. So wasn't the right time, which like 80 something percent of pregnancy terminations occur because of that. They are just not ready, right? It's not having nothing to do with being assaulted, has nothing to do with incest, anything like that. Over 80 some percent of women terminate pregnancies based on they don't have money, not the right time, they don't feel like having been pregnant, whatever. Right? The boyfriend said he don't want a child, so they say, okay, cool. Like whatever it is, it's all usually that. So she falls into that category. Now I'm going to bring in this article from people.com. Let's see here. All right. So you see the headline: because Justin Timberlake didn't want to be a father. All right. This is an exclusive. So with People. Let's see here. Now she has a memoir coming out this month, matter of fact, and the book is called The Woman in Me. So she's quoted as saying, "It was a surprise, but for me, it wasn't a tragedy. I loved Justin so much. I always expected us to have a family together one day. This would just be much earlier than I'd anticipated." Right? But Justin definitely wasn't happy about the pregnancy. He said we weren't ready to have a baby in our lives, that we were way too young. That's typical conversation, right? For a lot of young people, they go get in that bed, they do what they got to do to make that child, and then when it comes to carrying the child, delivering the child, raising the child, all that, all of a sudden they get cold feet. They don't want to do that, but they were responsible enough, or they were grown up enough to do the act to bring the child into the world. But when it came down to it, they chose to murder the child. That's just what it is. Okay, so she says, she writes in her book, "If it had been left up to me alone, I never would have done it. And yet Justin was so sure that he didn't want to be a father." So, she basically put it on Justin, right? But it takes two to tango. And, at the end of the day, what do they say? Woman's body, woman's choice, and all that, right? So she kind of came down to her because it's her body carrying the child, right? But the child is not her body. The child is a separate person within her body that depends on her to survive. So, man, that's crazy. And then that's the couple right there: Justin Timberlake, Britney Spears back in the day. So they were high commodity back then. I remember this very, very well. What a time to be alive. Now, people have, since this came out, said, "Oh, back in the day, back in like 03, she had this music video called Every Time." And in the video, apparently, I haven't seen the video. I don't even remember this song, but apparently in the video, there's Britney Spears is in the hospital, and I guess she flatlines. But while she's flatlining, there's another mother to be that has a child, delivers a child, and is born, and they show her holding the child. So it's kind of like a transfer of, life, So they're saying, and in the video, I think that something like, or there's a performance that she did of the song, Britney Spears, and she's rubbing her belly. So there people are just saying on Twitter, now X, that they believe it was symbolism for the child that she was supposed to have but terminated. And the music video is a depiction of that. So that's a sad thing. It's so often that these pop stars and celebrities, they are broken, very broken people. Most of the time, they become drug addicts. They self-harm. They act out, right, in public, and just do things, and then people wonder why they're doing that, why they're acting like that, right? They got all this money, influence, power, success. None of that means anything if you don't have your sanity. It doesn't mean anything if your heart is dark and black, right? All that money and power means nothing. So, and a lot of times, these women in her position, happens a lot. She's not the only one, but they get pregnant by somebody in the industry or whatever, and they decide not to have the child. And I don't care if you're in the industry or you're just a regular lady, right, living life. If you become pregnant and then you terminate that pregnancy and kill your child, that's gotta be just a heartbreaking thing, and that's gotta be something that would just stay with you, right, throughout the years, probably the rest of your life, because it's literally a part of you, right? I mean, it's a seed from the man that he put in you, and now the life is growing within inside of you as a female, and the baby is dependent on you. And if you kill that child, that's got to be just one of the probably the biggest just impacts in your life, right? To just bring you down to a low place. And it's understandable. And it reminds me of the lady, can't think of her name, but she sang with Fleetwood Mac. And y'all know who I'm talking about. She was like the lead singer. She dated Don Henley from the Eagles. They did the album together, I think. They did a lot of music together. And he allegedly got her pregnant. She had an abortion. And she talked about it. It came out like kind of recently. She came out and publicly said that. And she even did a song back then. I forgot the name of the song, but it's a song that she made in the memory of the child that she didn't have, right? That was killed. So this stuff happens all the time. And, it's just the terrible thing to see. But the industry, they don't want these females at a young age, especially when they're building up their career. The industry creates you to be what you are, right? As far as being a pop star, celebrity. And when you do something that is going to change the way people look at you, you go from a single female, young, hot, whatever it is, right? Good looking, then now you're with a child. It changes your image. And a lot of times, I mean, it'd be interesting to see in the book if she goes into more detail and says, you know what? Yeah, Justin said he didn't, but maybe somebody told Justin, hey, Justin, you need to talk to her. A little birdie told him to relay a message like, yo, this is not the time, right? Because the industry can't have that happen. That changed the whole image of who Britney Spears would be if she was pregnant, right? Or a mother. It just does. It's just the reality. Anyway, man, if you got kids, man, be careful letting them into the industry. Be careful letting them into the industry, because there's so much just negative, demonic, satanic influence within it, that the moment you step out of that role that they want you in, they're going to try to do everything they can, even if it means you ending a pregnancy. they want to keep you in their role, right? Because it's about money and power and success and influence is what it comes down to. Thank y'all for watching. If y'all will, drop a comment. Let me know what y'all think about this. Do y'all remember the song, the video for Every Time? Let me know down in the comments if you do recall that, and does that make sense to you now that she's come out and said this about her and Justin Timberlake's unborn child being terminated? But anyway, hit that like, comment, share the video, and of course, hit that subscribe. Thank y'all so much for hopping aboard with the captain for another one. This was the Captain's Quarters Show. I was your host, L. Milliner, the captain. Until next time, I am gone.